When did you start working with Agency VA and how's it been going so far?
So I started August 11, 2025, since I started to join Agency VA. And my decision to join the company was motivated by its provision of a, highly stable and structured framework for starting my experience in virtual assistants. Because for me, it wasn't just about finding a job. It was about, getting the right foundation. And the agency provides all the extensive training that is customized to the client's actual processes, which immediately puts me ahead of the curve. Plus, knowing I have a dedicated team and team leader to back me up and help me navigate complex issues means I can completely focus on mastering my task and consistently delivering accurate or let's say high quality work to the client. And that kind of security is incomparable.
What has surprised you about working with U.S. insurance agencies?
Well, when I first started, my role wasn't actually focused on direct interaction with the typical US insurance clients like policyholders or agents. Instead, my specific focus is dealing with major large scale of a specific company that collects and posts commission data for thousands of their producers. And what truly surprised me the most was the split nature of the commission structures within the US insurance marketplace. And, just by doing it, you quickly realize that it's not a one size fits all approach. And understanding the rules for processing different product lines, or let's say carrier relationships and state specific regulations, is extremely complex. And it has required me to become very detail oriented and precise, as our work directly impacts the financial outcomes and trust that producers have in the company. So yeah, that's what I do.
When you were first meeting with the Trucordia team, what were some things that you were feeling, and how have you grown since then?
Well, it's funny because I actually didn't have that traditional formal intro call. We jumped straight into very hands-on training with the systems and actual workflows. But, honestly, the first time I had to tackle a live task completely on my own, I was shaking a little bit. It was insane. I felt this intense pressure and was really worried about messing up, knowing a small mistake could snowball. You know what I mean? And what pulled me through that initial anxiety was pretty simple. And that is to make sure that I go back to the basics and just trusted the process. I carefully stick to the procedures that was taught to us and just try to calm myself so many times. And, simultaneously, I kept in mind that my team leader and my team were right here, and that combination of strong internal preparation and knowing I had immediate support made all the difference in delivering a solid result. So, yeah.
When you were training with the client, how did they go about doing that training and what was helpful about it?
Well, this might sound counterintuitive, but the most standout part of the training was the extensive amount of time we spent learning about the nuances of the US insurance industry as a whole. And even though I rarely use every single module in my day-to-day work, I found that most of the specific process and tools I use now were learned on the job and through continuous application. But that broad foundational training made me very familiar with the general terminologies, or like let's say structure and hierarchy of the US insurance market, which is very invaluable. And the most important thing is that during my um training environment really emphasized clear and professional communication between me and my future, clients. And that practice of documenting our work, asking precise questions, and giving concise updates is what truly prepared me to be a great communicator with our clients team today. And that ability to articulate a complex issue is clearly everything.
Do you ever do face-to-face meetings with your client?
Sometimes, yes, we do have a meeting because aside from doing commission posting, we also find statements and intercompany transfer. So basically, all of those tasks were taught to us so that we could accomplish it right away and help the other team um, with the other branch. So yeah, sometimes we do have a meeting with them.
So we are looking for more virtual assistants to hire. We're looking for top talent, people from other call centers, people with experience, ideally but no insurance. But what's something that you've discovered about working with agency VA and the culture here that you didn't expect before joining?
Well, you know what? The most impactful discovery I made about the company culture, which I genuinely didn't expect, was the general sense of approachability and genuine open communication. Why? Because in my previous professional experiences, there was a certain level of formality, and I tended to stick strictly to my immediate reporting line and cross team communication. Um, and all of those things often felt structured. But, here at Agency VA, I found a very refreshing environment where people are remarkably accessible and collaborative. I appreciate that questions are encouraged and that people are quick to offer assistance or constructive feedback regardless of their specific title. And, this culture focuses on shared goals and collaborative problem solving, which has made working here much more dynamic and has helped me integrate and learn at a much faster pace.
If you were to look back to the very first day you worked with agency VA, what's something that you would tell yourself that day to either help you grow faster or just to overcome maybe some of the thoughts that you were experiencing then?
Well, that's a good question. Looking back now, what really affirmed that joining Agency VA was the right move for me was the level of structure and dedicated support that I just wouldn't have gotten trying to go it alone. And, as the first time VA, I had the skills, yes, let's say, but honestly, I wasn't sure where to start with clients or, like, let's say, how to manage the workloads or even understand how insurance works. And, being part of the agency meant I got intensive training, a clear framework for my task, and most importantly, a team and a team leader who are there to guide me and answer those beginner questions. And, I've been able to learn and grow gradually in a supportive environment. And that kind of security and mentorship is truly priceless when you are new to the industry.
We're always looking to find new people, better people. Some of
Yes.
these clerks might end up on the Philippines Facebook page. I know they make a lot of reels and stuff there to
Mm-hmm.
help people learn one, who is agency VA and how are we treating our people, but also
Mm-hmm.
providing skills and guidance and direction for people that want to shift in their careers or grow in their careers. And hopefully, when you guys get here, like yourself, you see that avenue and that growth trajectory and opportunity. So I really appreciate the hard work that you and the team are putting into um, the job that you're doing. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, Graydon.